My California adventure continues to the spectacular Point Reyes National Seashore.
Went to a party, and that's all night. I had 16 beers and decided of a fight. Well, I'm turning, you're out of luck. I'm rolling down the stairs, too drunk to fuck.
Yeah. Well, this is cool. I found this cool little shipwreck, and this body of water right here actually looks like a lake, but it's actually a deep inlet called Tamales Bay. And there's actually the mouth of it right over there, and I actually read that this area is really famous for its large population of leopard sharks. And its existence is the result of the parting of the San Andreas Fault, which literally runs right beneath the bay.
I like the stories, I love the gun. Shooting out the tires cause I love the world of fun. Right in my room, wish you were dead. You fall like a baby in a razor.
Wyglądają jak musy.
Wyglądają jak renifery.
To jest największy amerykański jeleń. Największy z amerykańskich jeleni.
Oh, well, check this out. We have a huge herd of Thule elk. That might be a bit surprising as people don't normally think of elk as coastal animals. How's that for a Point Reyes welcome? All throughout the park you can find these historic ranchos, and by far the most beautiful and significant is the Pierce Point Ranch. Established in 1858, it was the largest on the Point Reyes Peninsula. And as of the year 1900, it was considered the best dairy ranch in all of California. Yeah, I think I'm finally starting to realize that of all the different environments, the coast is where I love being most.
No tam na cypek, gdzie chcesz. No ładnie z tobą. To będziemy.
Yeah, gray whale skull.
Here's some deer. They're over there. Did you see them earlier? Nice.
Yeah, Turkish raptor. They were saying there was a bobcat somewhere.
Yeah, there's a bobcat, but he just went.
Ooh, what are you? Oh yeah, definitely some kind of I'm at the famous Drake's Bay, and it was here that in 1579 the famous British explorer and privateer St. Francis Drake landed, and claimed this land for England, making him only the second European after Cabrillo to visit the Pacific coast of North America. As you can probably detest from the sites we've been visiting that the English didn't hold on to it for very long. Looking at this beautiful geology, it's no surprise that St. Francis Drake chose this piece of coastline to anchor during his voyage, and it's quite possible that he also may have been greeted by herds of elephant seals.
I want to say, 10 to 15 miles. On land, maybe 6 miles.
Okay.
You're a human. You gotta run with it.
Oh, yeah.
because it's like it's like back. It's not. Is that what they do when they rear their heads? It goes backwards instead of. Yeah.
That building over there is the old lifeboat station. I can't leave Point Reyes without stopping to pay my respects to my fellow travelman. Wow, it's absolutely incredible standing on the beach that Sir Francis Drake landed on over 500 years ago. I can only imagine how this place looked and the emotions he felt as he set foot here for the first time. I can only imagine what he would think of the place now and all these people coming here to honor his legacy.
I got a truck, my head's a mess. The only salvation is I'll never see you again. You get ahead, it makes it worse. Take out your fucking retainer and put it in your purse.
Jalapeno. Czy dajna?
Down this end, 5% to mix and match. If you want something very unique and only sold here is our Golden Gate. This is more pungent, one of our sharpest, strongest. I don't want to say sharp because I just had it yesterday, needs more aging. It is pungent. One of our really popular ones here is going to be our breakfast cheese. That's our signature cheese, very fresh and mild, not aged.
I'm gonna try some of this cheese.
O nie.
I'm now heading to the town of Novato, where I'll spend my final night. And we're gonna try this Italian restaurant. Normally I'm not a fan of Italian food, but that actually wasn't too bad. But tonight we're gonna be staying at the Marin Inn and Suites. It's a bit pricey and away from the town and restaurants, but the room is absolutely massive. This wouldn't be a bad base point for a multi-day trip. The last leg of my California adventure takes me to the world-famous Sonoma County. Oh my god.
Poor thing.
Where was this at?
Right there where
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. This building you see behind me is the Petaluma Adobe, and it was built between 1836 and 1857 by order of Mariano Guadalupe Vallejo. The adobe functioned both as the headquarters of a working ranch as well as a defense fortress to protect against potential attacks from local Indians and Russians who were stationed at the famous Fort Ross. The Vallejo family lived in the southwestern section of the rancho. During its heydays, the rancho employed more than 2,000 Native Americans. It was one of the largest north of the San Francisco Bay Area and was a socio-economic center of Northern California. The rancho ceased operations in the late 1840s when Vallejo was captured during the onset of the Mexican-American War.
oni w zimę mieszkali w miastach, a tutaj tylko przyjeżdżali na wyspy na tej jesień. Trochę ładniejsze było, ale też ładnie przyzyskali. Tak jeszcze ludzie się wstydzili razem z dziećmi.
Dziewczyny strony.
It's right here where his servants' quarters. The married couples had this room with beds, and the single people, like me, slept in a separate room on hay.
Tak fajnie oni tak mieszkali.
Dobry klimat.
Behind me is the Mission San Francisco Solano. It was founded on July 4th, 1823, and was the last and northernmost mission. It was also the only mission in Alta California to be built after Mexico gained its independence from Spain, and the only one to be founded by a rogue padre without prior approval of the church. The mission was fairly successful during its short 11-year lifespan. California's first grapevine was planted here, which laid the foundation for California's now thriving wine industry. A lack of funding meant the church lacked the grandeur of other California mission churches, and a lot of its decor was actually acquired from the Russians at Fort Ross. In 1826, angry Indians who felt they weren't getting their fair share of the mission's bountiful harvest burned down a few of the mission's wooden buildings. In 1833, Mexican Congress decided to close down all the missions with the passage of the Secularization Act, thus putting an end to Father Serra's legacy and beginning a new chapter of California history. In 1834, the troops of Mexican General Mariano Guadalupe Vallejo founded the town of Sonoma. Today, its presidio is considered to be the best preserved and most authentic in all of California. Vallejo's Casa Grande attracted visitors from across the world who were looking to experience one of the largest and best furnished private homes in California. Up until 1846, Sonoma served as the headquarters of the Frontera del Norte, and the soldiers were housed here in these barracks. That was until the summer of 1846, when a group of American frontiersmen captured the town of Sonoma and declared California a sovereign republic, and what would come to be known as the Bear Flag Revolt. Behind me is the home of Mexican General Mariano Guadalupe Vallejo. He lived here in this home from 1852 until his death in 1890. This is actually the cook's house.
No, the Adobe is in Petaluma.
No, but...
This is the house in the next building over.
What about this house?
This was just a storage building.
Okay.
This one is, this was Charlie.
Totally.
Just got home from Illinois, locked the front door, oh boy. Got to sit down, take a rest on the porch. Imagination sets in, pretty soon I'm singing. Looking out my back door. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? There's giants doing cartwheels, statue wearing high heels.
Behind me are the ruins of a home that once belonged to famed author Jack London. Named the Wolf after his nickname, construction of his dream home began in 1911 before a fire abruptly destroyed the unfinished home in August of 1913. Today its charred ruins stand as a haunting reminder of the dream that never was. Today a brick home once belonging to his wife Charmaine houses a small museum dedicated to the author's life and career.
여기 와서 똥이 잘 못 싸서 원래 똥 진짜 많이 싸요.
A gray squirrel here in its natural habitat, eating a pine cone. Damn, it's really going to town on that thing. That was one hungry squirrel. Damn. Now, although everyone's familiar with the famous wineries of Napa, the first winery in California was actually established here in Sonoma County in 1857 by a Hungarian count. From 1812 to 1841, Sonoma County was home to the southernmost Russian settlement in North America. Its name was Fort Ross, and its purpose to establish an agricultural-based supply to Alaska. Russians got along quite well with the locals. It was the site of California's first windmills, shipyards, Orthodox Church, and research scientists. The first to introduce glass windows, stoves, and all-wood housing, and smallpox vaccine. The Russians also established a thriving fur trade network, specializing mainly in sea otter and seal pelts. I've lived in California for almost 30 years, and the more of it I see, the more I realize how much I've taken it for granted. It turns out I never had to travel far to find incredible sights and stories. And though it's somewhat controversial, California's history is something I am incredibly proud of, and it took this trip to finally realize that the best state has always been my own.